Hey guys, welcome back to the Break Room Podcast. I'm here with Vin and Chris. Once again, Joe is missing, so we replaced him with another bald guy, Leonardo. And I just want
Bret Hart sucks! If you're not going to be here to defend your boy! I'm just kidding. I don't mean that. Bret Hart is becoming like a weapon. I don't want to say because
See what happens?
I
See
do
what
love
happens
and
when
respect
you're under
Bret
He's
Hart.
attack?
become so pivotal on the show now because
Get the fuck. Wait, we should have brought the cardboard cutout again. Why
Yeah,
don't
he's
we have
over
that?
there. It's fuck. I wanted to set
Fucking,
him
I'm
up.
gonna
Sorry,
have-
we have Leonardo. That's why
We got
couldn't have
Leo.
both.
Yeah.
I got him from Walmart. They're going to be coming out with all four of the original Turtles. I think Michelangelo might be a Walmart exclusive. He wasn't available. When
How
I ordered
heavy
this
is
one.
that?
Looks solid.
That looks like that would do some damage.
If you threw it at
your
somebody's
big brother.
face, it wouldn't tickle. That's for sure. But
Back in the day, they were a little bit softer, but
Yeah.
they were still hard plastic, like hard
But
rubber.
these are also made for the same people that got them like 30 years ago, not like the kids of today. So
Yeah,
I wonder if
exactly.
kids today are that into Ninja Turtles.
you know, there's different turtles for different generations. Like there was a recent turtle cartoon where they
Yeah, it has a different
completely
animation
changed
style.
the look of the characters. Like they made Raphael huge, and he became the leader of the team in this
Really?
recent iteration.
Which one's that? What
I don't
color?
know if I like
This
that,
was
but-
on Nickelodeon. I was pissed because Leonardo's my boy.
I mean, yeah. What
As
the
we
fuck?
said on the show before, there's two turtles in your life. There's the turtle you like, and then there's the turtle that you are.
Yeah,
Like, I like Leonardo, but I am
You're Mikey.
Michelangelo.
definitely Mikey. Pizza dude.
But, yeah, I'm super stoked about this. I'm not sure if I'm going to get all four turtles. I mean, I'm a
What a fucking
completionist
liar.
typically, but I definitely wanted to at least get Leonardo. If I
Can
don't
you
get them all-
uh,
They're running for about like $20-22 or something before tax.
can you jog my memory now? Which and match up their bandana color to the name of the turtle?
Leonardo's blue, Michelangelo's orange, Raphael is red, Donatello's purple.
What weapons does each of them have?
Raphael has the size. He has the katana.
Okay.
Donatello
Donatello
has
has
the
the
bow
staff.
staff, and Michelangelo has the nunchucks.
That's crazy.
Who has
that we even
the
have to
two?
tell
They're
you
not
that.
size though, aren't they? Called something else. The
No,
two
they're
little-
called size. They're
Yeah.
they're like a three-pronged.
That was
thing
always
that-
the one I liked. Who is that?
That's
Raphael.
Raphael.
He's
What
the
color
badass.
bandana is
Red.
he?
Red.
Red.
Yeah, he's
He's the
best.
one that's up
He's a
there.
lot of
See
people's
in the
favorite.
trench coat, up on the top shelf.
Oh
My-
yeah, I
my-
see him. I just forget what
That's
their names.
him.
I used to be.
That's
You know when I
Raphael.
was really into it, height was like SNES. There was like that side scroller
Yes.
game, and me
Oh,
and my
yeah.
brothers would play that.
Turtles in Time.
I'm not. It might have been it. Yeah. I
Is
mean,
it the
it
one
was
that starts in the burning building.
You could throw the foot ninjas at the screen.
Yeah, like you
I
can
don't
grab
remember. It
them
was
and then
like a
like hit the attack
side-scroller.
button and you throw them.
I love that
You
game.
could play
I still have
multiplayer.
it down
Me
in
and my
my
brothers
basement.
would play. My mom had the big blue van. I don't know what it is, like one of
Say
those
your
Ford
prayers,
massive
Turtles.
vans, and it had a TV in it. We could
Hell
play.
yes. Oh right. Oh, you had the Astro van.
You would
That's
hear
right.
it coming like blocks away. It was a gigantic van, but
That was another signature thing in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the van.
I have
Yeah.
the van up in the attic. Yeah, I've
was a
got,
great
I've got one of
toy. I
the
had that.
original vans. In fact, I should put it on the table one day. I have it unopened. I lucked out one day. It was an FYE, and I got the box set of the original cartoon, the full run,
Nice.
and it comes inside the turtle van. Like it's a turtle van box set. So
FYE. I'm surprised, man. They've really lasted. They
I'm
every now and then
surprised.
have like a hidden gem in an FYE.
And what's funny, there was an FYE in the mall when we went to Minnesota. Funny enough,
Yeah, like the last surviving one.
and it's
Well, we
like,
got
and
the
that
one too,
mall's
right?
gonna get closed.
That's
So it's
true,
like
yeah,
that one's, I guess, gonna close too.
last legs. That the first Ninja Turtles movie that was such an incredible
Oh man,
cult classic.
that was like the live action.
yeah, live action.
that.
It was so
Wise
good for
man
back
once
then.
say, "Forgiveness
Was it Jim
is
Henson?
divine."
I think it was Jim Henson.
Was it
but
Jim
I'm
Henson?
pretty sure it was.
Rob,
Was
we
it
need
Jim
your
Henson?
confirmation.
You know,
Yeah, it was Jim Henson Studios made those. I'm pretty sure.
those were fucking. That was the best.
remember The
That was
Rat.
Such a good movie.
yeah, Splinter.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they got the names, right? It was actually a play on the original Daredevil cartoon, a cartoon comic. So his master was Stick. So instead of Stick, he was Splinter, and instead of the hand, they fight the foot. So
they are in the Marvel universe or something.
literally. In fact, they kind of like allude to that accident happening with his like blindness. The same acid that makes him go blind creates the turtles.
Yeah, Daredevil. That's right.
Somebody threw acid at him.
Well, it was
an
basically
accident.
what happens is there was a
truck
car
accident?
accident and like some like
barrels.
sludge like spilled and
Ooze.
shit. And what
They loved that
happens is
shit in the 80s, man.
there was a guy that
Early
was going
90s.
to step out.
Power
and
Rangers. The ooze.
fucking Power
He saves
Rangers.
the guy
RoboCop.
RoboCop
Red
was
Foreman
great.
gets melted.
He does get melted.
It's one of the most gratuitous, violent scenes.
What about the guy that he
that
shoots
one
his dick off? Remember
Oh
that?
no,
like Indiana Jones when
RoboCop
the
is
guy melts
really
like wax.
gratuitous. They like fucking blow the
They
guys.
had to make
every
like
one
a
of his
fucking
hands
record
off.
for squibs in a movie. Like,
Squib. What's that?
so that's like the little explosion packs where blood just explodes.
Oh my god,
Those are
yeah.
called squibs.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
so they have to have some kind of record for fucking blood squibs.
Oh,
Arnold
dude, I mean, the beginning of
Schwarzenegger.
that's how they take down Murphy,
Stallone.
RoboCop, is they blow off all of his fucking hands and feet.
yeah,
And shit. And
yeah. They put him in that.
They love
fucking
that
robot and
exploding
shit.
those effects in the 80s.
Murphy.
You don't really
cease
see that
and
now.
desist.
We haven't had a really like gratuitous violent movie like a Saw or something in a while. Not that I'm asking for one.
Saw those movies were fucking brutal.
The first
man. I
few
remember
were
watching
The
those.
first ones are really fucked up.
The first three are good. Like after that, I kind of like lost interest. I'm like,
You can only,
how long are you gonna keep telling the story? The guy was dying of cancer, now he's still fucking around. Like, what,
I
the
don't
fuck
even remember the
happened? Come
main
on.
story.
Yeah, so the guy was like dying of cancer, so he created all these sadistic games, and then like he like
Well,
fucking
but what does one have to do with the other? He's dying of cancer, so he wants
he
other
dies
people
in
to suffer.
Saw 3, and then like all of a sudden he's back, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what? Like how you keep telling these
that
fucking
puppet
stories?
though. Fucking.
Yeah, it's
Keep
legit
breaking
Saw.
in the money, baby. Let's go. They're
Well,
rebooting
when
again.
the fucking girl has to
There's
swim
another
through the
Saw
heroin
reboot
needles
coming.
was fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
That was
Jeez.
tough.
Yeah, I remember one guy like had to put his hand in the thing, but if
Oh
he
yeah, the
pulled it
trap,
down,
and
it
then
would-
like it rips his hand off. Yeah.
yeah.
That's one of those series that I have to watch all of the movies too. It's like
Yeah.
if one
I
of
think
them-
I watched the 3 of them in
it's on HBO or
succession
something. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch all these.
when there was only 3 of them.
I
and then
can't
by
watch
the
that
end,
shit
it's just
anymore.
like by the 6th one, you're so desensitized.
Yeah,
It's
too
just
much.
like, but you love playing the what if. I think the whole point in those movies is like, oh, if that was me, I'd fucking
yeah.
bullshit.
That was me,
You
I would've
would.
been like, yeah, just kill me. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
really.
roll this shit.
Just
Shoot
give
me,
up.
man.
Just
I
come
would
in the
gi- I
room.
would have given
Rob
up at
just-
the beginning.
I'm just,
You have
what do
one bullet, okay?
Yeah.
Problem
Appreciate
solved.
it.
I hate to say it, we're not
How
condoning
to solve a
that, but
puzzle in
if-
one easy move.
Don't leave.
Christ,
I'm not swim.
terrible.
I'd rather do that than swim through fucking needles. You know what I mean? Saw a leg off or something.
They're
Yeah, you really
good
get
at
the
that.
point after that.
It's like you have a saw your leg off. Done.
Done.
Goodbye.
I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Thanks for the
Not-
saw,
not
dude.
no more.
Not in this
The
Saw.
psychological terror after that, it wouldn't be worth living through. You
I do
know?
not want to live in the Saw universe. I mean, it's been a while since we had one of those sick fuck movies like the Human Caterpillar. You know what was going
That
on?
was
There was a
the
lot of fucked up
grossest
shit.
Shit.
There was
You mean
like
the
2 of
human
those.
centipede.
Yeah, the Human Centipede. That
Yeah,
was what it was. Yeah.
yeah, they fucking
That was
sealed
another
them all
fucked
together.
up one. Like
Oof, my own.
you don't see that anymore. Probably
We went
for
into
the
like what would you call it? I don't know if it's religious horror, but like the
Like the nun and all that.
hellish demon-esque fucking
they were doing a lot of
phase
that
now.
supernatural. Yeah,
supernatural.
It's like, you
They
know,
get on
The
kicks
Witch.
with shit.
Did you watch like Midsommar? Those are fucked
no,
up.
there was
man.
a movie about the orphan girl.
Oh, dude,
I
fucking
remember that.
Midsommar is fucking wild. You'd be flipped out.
What is it?
Midsummer, isn't it?
It's called Midsommar, I believe. but
Midsommar. What
and
does
they
that
like
mean?
take a trip to I don't know. I think Sweden, Switzerland, somewhere where like
Sweden.
there's a period of time where the sun never sets, so it's always day.
Oh, okay.
and this
Yeah, well, that
couple
happens
goes-
in like that's why they get happens in like yeah, like
It
fucking
is-
Canada or shit.
Something I think that happens in Alaska and but
Greenland,
whatever they apply.
Iceland and Greenland that happens.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
okay. So they're in, whatever they're in
Alaska.
one of these things. It's a couple and it's like a cult, and it turns out to be like this crazy kind of religious cult, and you can't leave, and it's like. It's weird what happened. I can't even explain this fucking movie, but it really takes a turn when all of a sudden they like pick somebody and like, oh, what'd they get picked for? And they're just watching, and the person just takes a fucking header off this cliff and splats on the ground in front of them, and they're like, what just fucking happened? Like the girl starts freaking out, and then they're like, we're gonna go, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then she's
Use-
like, where's my
yeah.
boyfriend? You know, and he's gone. And
God.
it's one of those, dude. And then
Dutch people.
she can't, like, eventually she gets kind of possessed or something. Weirdest fucking movie, bro. So, yeah, that whole, I don't know if it's I think it's one director that does them, like A24 puts them out, but The Witch, Midsommar, all that shit. It's Hereditary. It's all like these psychological.
I like to do the things where it's
possession.
like a normal person that gets possessed and they're sleeping and all of a sudden they're in bed and like we've seen that shit a million times.
Fucked up.
You know, we haven't seen in a long
Fucked up.
time. One of the Final Destinations. I still
Yeah,
want to
dude,
drive by.
everybody-
Terrified me. First two of those
Those movies
just to get-
sucked. They
what?
sucked,
Whoa,
but they
whoa.
stuck with everybody.
Yeah, the first two, that couple of those
Memorable.
things stuck with me. Where I'd be like on the
elevator
highway,
and shit,
I'd be
too.
mad
Well,
paranoid.
because they had like a real story to them. It was just like this fucking little riddle where it's like
the
you
fucking
survived
farm
death, but
fence
now you
just
have to
slices
die.
the girl in fucking pieces.
the fucking the logs
Everybody
on the
remembers
truck.
the logs on the truck
Yeah,
because
that's
that
the
goes
big
to
one.
I
everybody's
won't
mind.
drive near
Yeah,
fucking
driving-
logs.
Yeah, exactly.
I've fucking seen that
It
movie.
plays on a real fear. That's what they're good at.
Well, that's
So
exactly
it's a
what
common
Jaws
fear.
did to people back in
Bro,
the day. You
when
know?
I watched Jaws as a kid, couldn't even step on the floor. I'd be jumping from couch to couch and shit. Yeah, that's how freaked out about the. That's Steven Spielberg, just masterful.
There was
the
also
tension.
Deep Blue Sea was another. It was good.
It was
Samuel
yeah, it
Jackson
didn't
was
have
in
the
it.
same
They ate his
heightened-
bird.
I
Oh
mean,
no, that
he
wasn't
gets
Samuel
eaten.
Jackson. That was.
Well, Jaws was a
that
cultural
Triple J?
phenomenon.
It was LL. Samuel Jackson gets eaten by the shark. He's yelling about the shark, and then he gets eaten.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like yelling, and all of a sudden the thing's just like, "Mang!" It is crazy when it. Oh, it's funny. It's actually Thor's dad. Not Thor's dad, but fuck.
Anthony Hopkins?
The actor who plays the doctor in Thor, Jane Foster's.
Oh, Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård. There we go. I'm trying to think of that guy, the actor's name, and he's getting pushed by the shark, and he's strapped into the fucking the medical thing. Do you remember that part of Deep Blue Sea?
It's been a while.
They're trying to lift him out, and they're trying to hella lift him,
All right.
and then it snaps, and then he's still strapped down, and then the shark has him, and it's tearing through the water with him like on its nose, and it's gonna use him to break the glass. It's pretty terrifying.
Deep Blue Sea was
scene.
fucked. Yeah, that was like I don't remember why they
Fucking
were like
crazy.
especially aggressive sharks for some
How
reason.
the fuck did we get on a whole kick about fucking
Horror
movies?
movies,
What the
horror
fuck?
movies.
Freaking
I just gotta
sharks
mention
with freaking
freaking
laser
lasers,
beams
man.
attached to their freaking heads.
Really meandered into
Jeepers
this one.
Creepers. One of my favorite horror movies.
I never
That was
saw
always
that.
creepy.
You never saw Jeepers Creepers? You'd love it. It still holds up. It's a goofy movie. It's like this.
What
Long
was
story
the one
short,
we were laughing at with fucking Mel Gibson?
in a horror movie.
Yeah, the one with the aliens. That was,
Oh,
remember we-
Signs.
Oh,
remember
Signs.
We got stoned
Yeah,
and
yeah.
went to your house.
We were gonna sit.
and we were
gonna eat like a family.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
hysterical through the whole
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun,
Mel Gibson's
dun-dun-dun,
getting pissed
dun-dun-dun.
off.
The Signs, the first time I ever saw it was terrifying, but then Signs is
No,
Can't look
the
at it.
first
It's a
time I
funny
saw
movie
that
now.
shit,
Scary
I
movie
was
made
in
fun of it,
tears
too,
the
so.
whole
the
movie,
alien
bro.
walking by.
I was crying,
Little kids.
bro. I
Yeah.
died.
Now I
was
just
like, "That's it."
picture fucking tiger blood there.
Oh my god.
Charlie Sheen. I just picture Charlie Sheen from
Oh,
Scary
because
Movie
of Scary
now.
Movie 3.
Scary
Yeah.
Movie,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
So that totally ruins it. When it's
I
spoofed.
fucking love that
Jesus,
movie.
Getting sneezed on.
Oh my god. There it is. And he never
He's got a
does
fit,
it
too.
once. It's like
It's not one
12
sneeze.
fucking
I have a
sneezes.
sneezer.
It's
It's never just
right.
one sneeze. It's always.
Christ on a cross.
Oh my god.
The germs to the studio.
What the fuck you guys been doing recently?
Well, you know what we all been doing. What
Yeah,
we're here
I
to
know.
talk about today. Thank you for the segue, though.
We've been addicted to something called Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh yeah,
It
let's
is
go.
The newest game, to
AKA
hit
the Harry Potter
platforms.
game.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Harry
I'm calling
Potter
it Harry
game.
Potter.
Harry
Commonly
Potter's not
known
in it.
as-
This is like the fucking like late 1800s, turn of the century kind of shit.
Oh, the timeline is it's 100 years prior to any of the Voldemort story. So
Yeah.
So,
you're
yeah,
clearing away
early
from all that
1900s.
stuff.
I gotta say, I'm fucking hooked, man.
You're hooked.
It's
Hold on.
sick.
Before we dive into the game, I want to tell a story here. Rob, what was the first time that you read through your first exposure to Harry Potter? Maybe the first time you read it did you see the movies first? What's your connection with Harry Potter?
So it's really funny. My 11th birthday, I got the first 3 books gifted to me from my Uncle Joe. And he, I I guess he had the forethought of getting them for me. He knew that they were going to be like a hot item or something like that. I had never heard of Harry Potter. I needed to read books for middle school.
Book
in
project or something.
My English class, they would make us constantly read
You have
books.
to fill out the form proving you read the
So I
book.
started the first book, and I was like instantly hooked. I thought it was like fascinating. And he was like really an ostracized kid. I was very much the same at the time. I wasn't always Mr. Popularity, real life Peter Griffin. I was very much the polar opposite for most of my life.
And really? That's
Regardless
so
of the fame. But I really resonated with the books, and I was a fan from back then. And I ended up reading the first 4 books, like when they were released, and then the 5th book came out, and I started it, and I don't know if it was because I was getting older and I just wasn't in the mood for Harry Potter at the time or something, but I ended up reading like the first 4 chapters and dropped off. And I continued to buy the books as they came out, but I didn't finish them. So fast forward to when I went to college, I had this friend, Christine, that was a big Potterhead, and she convinced me to pick up book 5 again and give it another shot because she said actually it was a really good book. And I was like really heavy into reading back in college still too. So I ended up finishing the books, and it was kind of funny because I started them as a kid like him, and then I finished them as an adult.
Right.
And
it's one of the great things about Harry Potter is it aged with the target audience.
100%. Yeah.
We started as kids, and it was a
the
kid
first book
and
was
it
a
got
book
little
for an
bit more.
11-year-old kid, and then by the 7th book, it's like, if you're 19, 20 years old, like it's still, resonating with you. And you can feel that because he's had the experience and the time, and, he's created these relationships with the people around him. And
the fucking world building, that's really what it is.
Really,
I think that's what sucks everybody in is the fact that, like,
the potential of it
you're
all,
joining Harry on this journey
You're becoming
of learning
a wizard too.
about the wizard. Exactly, yes. You're vicariously living the whole world, and the world itself is just fascinating. It's clever and cheerful in a lot of ways, especially in the beginning, and it has this charm to it just overall. The whole, the way the pictures, the moving pictures, or any number of
Does it
things,
start
the
with the
chocolate
snakes?
frogs. And
When he first realizes he has the power, does it start with the ability to talk to the snake?
Yeah, they go
That's
to the
when
zoo, and like he understands what the
other
snake is
things
saying,
have
and that's,
happened
like,
that you don't
There were other-
necessarily
yeah.
know, but yes,
Uncle
he talks
Vernon
about
and
it, like,
Aunt
if
Petunia would
anything
try to
fucking weird
stifle it.
happen. Yeah, weird
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
always happens around Harry.
It was a perfectly normal morning.
I hated those characters in the books.
Oh,
But man,
Uncle
when the
Vernon?
movies came out, Uncle Vernon was
Dudley's?
so
Oh,
funny,
right.
man.
Hurry up, boy!
Yeah.
Hurry up with my toffee.
The audio books really make him...
Uncle Vernon was like the way that they would always explain him. It was always like Uncle Vernon was turning purple. Like Uncle Vernon was such a dick,
a pink
Yeah, he was-
skin,
and Dudley was
pigly-
such a little shit.
Oh yeah, I just wanted
Yeah.
him to like die. Like,
Red
when the
faced.
Dementors were coming after him in book 5, I was like, please kill him. Like,
Oh.
fucking just kill him.
They
I think
there
when
was
he
always-
didn't get killed by them is why I stopped reading the book.
They always,
should've got
they always
Uncle
kept
Vernon.
a certain amount of innocence to it. It was still always...
So, what was your exposure to it? Like, what's your
Funny enough, it was more like... It came out 97. I just looked it up. So I was 10, and I was definitely bought those books, but I don't feel like I definitely didn't read them at the time. Because I think it was at a time where I was like... I was out of grade school in that way, where they weren't going to assign that book to you to read. Right. And I wasn't necessarily like a hardcore book reader, I read like Holes and all the other books that you would read in middle school. Holes was great.
Yeah.
But
Thinking about that.
missed Harry Potter reading it, and then ended up watching the movies, like anybody. I was not an avid reader, and funny enough, it was recommended to me by somebody who I wouldn't have expected to be a hardcore Harry Potter
Dan Scott.
fan. Our buddy, Dan
I
Scott.
don't know why. I just remember that.
And Dan's just like, Dan's a great dude. He's a tough guy, and he just said, like, you ever read Harry Potter? And I was like, what? No. He's just like, you need to read that shit. Here's the first book. Handed me the first book. I went home and read it because I was I had graduated high school, and I was like, man, I need to like read something or just spark my brain. Just do anything. So yeah, went home and read that book, and I was absolutely enthralled with that book. I probably read it in less than a week. Obviously, it's a very easy read, so
Yeah.
I
think
immediately
the first book
started
was only
going.
like 250 pages.
Yeah,
something like
it's a
that.
short. Yep. I went to the bookstore. The second I finished that book, got the next book, and so on down the line through to 7, and then halfway through 7 stopped. Couldn't get through 7. 7 gets dreary.
Yeah.
I had read so much, and I had just had my fill at that point, I think.
Yeah.
So then a couple months later,
When he has the fight with Ron and Hermione, that's when
yeah,
it
when
really
they're
felt
breaking.
like it
oh
was,
God, it
yeah.
was just tough. It was they're in the
It just
woods.
felt like it's never
bleak.
gonna like turn out right.
Yeah, they never did
The
that. They didn't do
woods.
it's before the Gringotts heist. It's right before all that stuff breaks out. They
Yep.
skip a ton of it in the movies. So before the movies were coming out, I was like, oh, I have to finish it. So I went back, started 7 again, and yeah, it's probably the best book series.
So
Game
you
of
finished
Thrones.
it before all the movies.
Yeah, I did. I
Okay.
actually did.
And have you reread it or anything since?
I started becoming a book snob before the Game of Thrones thing actually happened too. So I understood that feeling of just like, it's fucking better in the fucking book, man, because your
yeah,
imagination's
it is.
bigger
Oh,
and
yeah.
better. You just
Yeah.
can't.
Well, even
you know,
with Lord
well,
of the
stories
Rings,
better.
Anything.
Stories
It's
longer,
not just Harry
more
Potter.
detailed.
Yeah.
There's more
Everybody
characters.
knows. But now, guess what? The Last of Us being a great TV show based on a video game and true to the video games are the best medium for storytelling aside from books. Books will still always be better, more detailed, but you
'Cause they're
can
the hands-on
express
experience.
Yeah, you can express
Yeah.
the detail and experience the detail in a video game way more than a movie or a show. And this game does a fucking amazing job at doing
It
that.
answers the question of like what would it be like if I was in the movie? You know, like if
Yep.
like the next D experience or whatever you would call it.
Yeah.
Like if you like pair that with like a true
The
VR
metaverse
experience
experience.
that's like sustainable.
Yeah.
Because I find even with like the highest end stuff, because I've got the PlayStation VR for the PS4, but then I got the Valve Index, which is like $1,000 VR headset that goes for the PC. And like even with that, I find that I can't wear it for more than say an hour and a half.
Yep.
And it kind of takes you out of the world of it, because it's enjoyable when you first put it on. It's cool, you know, you look around, the whole experience. But number one, 99% of people have very limited space to be able to fuck around with a VR headset anyway. As you know, my room is a fucking, like, it's,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
tight.
I got a big bed in a small room. It's like ironic when you have a bigger bed, you have more bedroom but less bedroom, you know.
So wait, what's Chris's? What's your first exposure to Potter?
My exposure to Harry Potter was in elementary school. If it came out in 97, then I would have been in first grade. And
yeah, perfect.
I remember everybody was going nuts over in the library. There were certain books that you can get, and they were always like, Harry Potter is out, Harry Potter's out. And even back in the day, I won't say myself, I won't call myself a contrarian. I'm an anti-contrarian. But I was like, fuck this book. Fuck, I remember seeing the cover, and I saw this little fucking nerd with the glasses, and I was like, fuck that kid. I'm not reading this stupid fucking book. Everybody likes it. Fuck it. But eventually, I might have been in second or third grade. The hype kind of died down a little bit, and in like the back of the classroom, there was the bookshelf with all the books, and you would have to like read a book for whatever reason. They'd make you read a book and do the book reports and substantiate that you read the book. And so I finally was like, oh, look at this fucking book. All right, let me take a look at it. And I was like second or third grade, and that was exactly it. Just the fact that he's like abused right at the beginning, he's immediately a sympathetic character that
Somebody you hope does well, or
right.
has
And
better.
we can identify. I'm the youngest, and I have several older brothers.
Oh
and
wow, that's
older
right.
brothers
yeah.
are
And think of that.
Can
Can relate to being the downtrodden, younger,
exactly
ignored.
It's
child.
like you'd see a little bit of your brothers in fucking Dudley, a little bit. You know what I mean? Not to smear my brothers or anything, but you get hazed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like especially when you're the youngest.
Dazed and confused.
But he the other thing too is he's poor, and
they're broke, yep.
like that's not that we're poor
Getting the
and
hand-me-downs.
parents that are best,
Getting the
but you know what I
hand-me-downs.
mean? Like
Brothers' jeans.
I didn't get everything that I wanted as a kid, whereas
Yeah.
it seemed like a lot of other kids, maybe that were, only childs or whatever, did get everything that they wanted. So,
Wizard
that's how I
Harry.
got into it. And then the movies started coming out, and I remember we went on field trips to the movies.
That's
like,
that's
in
crazy. That's
elementary
how
and middle
popular
school.
it was. Like,
That's how, and like just ubiquitous.
it's fucking
you know?
educational, It's
Yeah,
like,
it was, it was like a field trip to see Harry Potter. What?
yeah. Wow.
And same thing, here's the thing I wanted to mention. When you're talking about the books, they just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yes.
This is before ebooks and any of this shit too. These were actual books back in the day, and every book got a little bit longer, and then like the fifth and sixth, and it just kept.
Harry
and
Potter 4 was 734 pages. It was the longest book I'd ever read at that point in my life.
It was like reading a tome, and you just it intimidated me kind of away from ever reading it. And I even kind of stopped watching all the movies, but I ended up doing the audiobooks, and that's the point I'm getting to.
The movies turned out to be trash by the end.
Not trash. They weren't trash.
I hated the last two.
Snape, man, they were still good.
The book 7 movies were horrible.
But they got everything that happened. Snape's whole character arc manifests in the movie.
If you didn't
in a
read the
great
books,
way.
amazing. If you read the books, sure, yeah.
Alan
like
Rickman,
anything.
yeah. I mean, the books were better, 100%. But the audiobooks is what I want to mention.
Into the snake. The fucking Deathly Hallows Part 1.
The lady turns into a snake?
Yeah, there was like a fucking old lady that turns into a snake.
Nagini is disguised as
fucking got hysterical in the movie theater.
What? Really? That's funny.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I remember that. That's funny. I've seen all of them. I've watched all the movies. I saw them all in the movie theaters. Every one of them.
yeah. I didn't see them all in theaters. I actually only saw the movies later on, but the audiobooks I highly recommend. There's two types too. There's one narrated by one guy, and there's another one narrated by Jim Dale. If you feel like you don't have the time to read the books, just get the audiobooks, listen to them. The story is great. The narrator is great, and you'll get the whole story experience, and it's gonna be better than the movies were, for sure. That's our connection to Harry Potter, the game. Let's talk about that. You guys have played the game a lot more than I have. I'm not as far in. So
I went ham. I went deep into the game.
You're already lost.
Yes.
I'm almost level 28.
Nice.
I haven't gone very, very far into the main story because I'm trying to savor it. So I've been doing a lot of the side questing, which is extremely time consuming. So I think that in my my save history, I think I've played it for 27 hours at this point. And in that time, I've, like I said, I've amassed 27 levels. I got a lot of the collectibles. I'm pretty close. I only got one more of those key cabinet things to find, so I can open up that chest in the common room. But I got to say, if 11-year-old me played this game back then, I would have been like completely wowed, because it's the closest you're going to get to having a personal experience in the Harry Potter universe. And it's great because it doesn't affect or have anything to do with the Harry Potter characters. So you can't get mad and say, well, they retcon this and they changed this and that. It has nothing to do with any of those characters. It's truly your own story, so you can forge ahead as you want. You are Harry Potter for all intents and purposes. It's, Rob Franzese and the Sorcerer's Stone or whatever, so that's where I'm getting my enjoyment out of the game. You make your own path, you make your own decisions. You can pick what you want to say to people, and I think that it affects the game later on. But
I think it's the most like
it's great.
It's the It's not perfect, because I could point out a bunch of shit about it where you'd be
Of course.
oh, this or that. Technically,
the people look weird.
Technically,
The fact that
certain
there's no
voice acting
Quidditch
thing.
in the game is surprising.
But it's probably
Gotta
the
leave
best.
something for the sequel.
Yeah, that's true.
DLC.
It's probably the best licensed video game next to, let's say, like Spider-Man or like any of the superhero kind of games. Like, most licensed games fucking suck.
Yeah.
And all the Harry Potter games in the past, not that they sucked necessarily, but they were severely limited, and for X
Any
number
love that
of
they have
reasons.
is on nostalgia alone. It's,
Yeah, those were tough. The Lego ones were a lot of fun.
That
those
was
were
great.
Great ways to experience like the Harry Potter story, but like nothing really harnessed the essence of what it would be like to be in that universe. And that's what this game does. It captures that charm of being at Hogwarts or being in the wizarding world
immediately,
going
right
through
away.
the picture portal, seeing the stairs change,
absolutely.
Watching Peeves fuck with people,
And
just that one clip that I sent in. I don't know if you guys watched it in the PlayStation group. I'm just walking along, and there's like two knight shining armor standing next to each other, and one starts humming away, and the other one literally takes his mace and beats the other one to pieces and kills him, and then kicks his fucking parts, and then goes back and puts his sword back. And I fucking clipped it. It was amazing.
Clever as fuck. That
But
clever
just
charm.
little moments like that. There was a kid getting like yelled at with a fucking howler message in the fucking like
I heard that
foyer,
one. That's funny.
and it was fucking hilarious.
The scale is good, like what you would expect. I know you said like you feel like it's kind of small, but it'll start to unveil itself layer by layer.
Yeah.
It's a labyrinth. It is very. The scale is good. It's good enough where you can't memorize it right away. And I almost feel like kind of similar to a Grand Theft Auto experience. They give you enough side shit where you actually kind of start to learn the castle. Like, you get a better feeling of where you are.
Yeah.
Because initially I was like, what the fuck? I was lost.
Oh,
the flu powder and being able to instant travel. I was like, damn, I don't even really know, like, where am I in the castle right now? What, like, am I up high? Am I low?
Yep.
I just didn't understand
The
it
flu
first.
stones, was that ever a
Flu
thing
powder?
in there?
Yeah.
Flu powder was
When
originally
Harry
part
says,
of the story.
what does Harry say?
As like
Diagonally, and he fucking ends up getting transported to the wrong place.
Oh, yeah,
He's with
okay.
the,
I'm trying to remember. It's been
It's
a
in the
while.
beginning of, I think, 3. He's with the Weasleys.
So that's like the Way Shrine fast travel station.
yeah,
thing.
flu
Yeah,
powder.
exactly.
It's the green.
Well, it's how magical people get around, like in the Ministry and shit. They use flu
Yeah, you
powder.
see
I
a lot
like
in
the
the
way that
Ministry.
they introduce spells in like the classroom setting. It almost
combat
feels
is
like the original
fantastic.
movies where it's like, this is how you
And
this
you
is
have
how
to earn
Accio
spells.
works.
That's what I like.
Those
It's not like,
systems-
well, here's every spell ever, and you know,
Right.
go at it. But like, you're a fifth year, and you're starting the school as a fifth year, so like you have the abilities. You
That
just
was
need to
smart,
learn
too.
the shit. So it's
So they
smart in
really
that
bring
respect.
you in too beyond oh, it's Harry Potter. The story right away, first 30 seconds,
off with a
hooks
bang.
brings you in. They've clearly played God of War. I get a lot of different feelings when I'm playing the game. Funny enough, one of them is Elden Ring, because Elden Ring was one of those like layered games where the scale kept unveiling itself as the game went on. I was like, holy shit, this is like, I know you
God,
hate
it's
it.
not like Elden Ring. I mean, no, I know.
I don't mean-
I feel like the
world building and the detail.
not even
of
that.
the-
I feel like the physics of it, like the third person and how the camera swings, it felt a little like Elden Ring, that loose kind of third.
So I
person
just feel like when
feel,
I'm
but
standing
fuck Elden
outside in Elden Ring and there's a castle in the distance and you're just
Ring. Yeah,
like
except
outside.
I can
like,
play this
wow.
on hard mode and I can fucking
Alright,
still knock it out of
relax.
the park. Whereas Elden
Game of the
Ring,
year. This fucking guy can't get over
low
it.
standards.
Who has low standards?
Elden,
fucking
anyone
prick?
that fucking put Elden
Tell
Ring
this
at Game of
fucking
the
guy.
year.
Somebody out
I
there.
can't
Elden
Tell
tell.
Ring
this
I didn't
fuck.
play it. I don't want to play it. I knew it was going to be too hard for
Good.
me. I didn't want to try
Yeah,
it.
because you would have hated it as
Losers.
much as me.
Fucking
I would have
losers.
gotten lost, and I would have
Babies.
been gotten frustrated.
Not even
That's
that. You
what
would have
happened.
fucking
Great
picked the
game.
fight with the
Sick
wrong
game.
NPC.
For so many reasons, that game great. Also, Ghost of Tsushima, because as
That's-
I got out of the castle,
I wish I played
I started
that
to
one.
Love
see
that
that there are, forts and different little. There's like roaming stalkers. I don't want to fucking go into all the details of the game, but again, the essence of the game, the scale of the game, it's very impressive. And I thought there was some things I was worried about because I've been hyped about it for a while. Since they announced it, I was like, wow, a next-gen Harry Potter-themed game, this should be really great. Good opportunity. Going in, I'm thinking, man, the combat could be fucking boring, You're just, like, diddling spells. Like, how complicated are they going to allow it? And they really made, like, a nice, complex combat system that feels cool. Like, it feels... And even their movements are cool. They have a little bit of that dancing or whatever to them. It's not a dull...
Oh, when you like turn to the side and then you do a quick attack.
Yeah.
He does like a little, or like a behind the back little like fucking.
Yeah.
I gotta
It's
say,
like
I
serious
immediately
black.
started doing
favorite
that.
Very
parts
cool.
of this whole game is the room of requirement.
I haven't... All right.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
you know,
I don't wanna-
I
wanna
know
spoil
what to
nothing.
expect, and it's like, oh, I don't... Not that... I know it's going to be in the fucking game. I've read everything and all this shit, so... But I almost
you
don't
don't
want to
know what
hear
to
about it yet.
expect.
Yeah,
It's-
until I see it.
It's
Can't wait.
fantastic. If you think
That's
the
cool.
game is like sick now before you've even experienced it, once you have the room of requirement, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's an absolute game changer.
I can say I wish, yes. I think one of the complaints I hear, common complaints. Funny enough, the game is like launched, I think, today officially, but we've been playing because we pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And I think that's built a lot of the hype. I don't think as many people were interested because I was excited. Me and Sam have been talking about it. We were always disappointed by delays. And it wasn't one of those games I was hearing a ton about from, let's say, friends or people I was close with. And now, though, every single person I know is either playing it, has started playing it, or is about to start playing it tonight because they're just like,
Except
I
for
love
Joe.
Harry Potter.
Except
Our
for
Joe. Show Joe, yeah. Joe, he has no connection. He's 40 years old, so this thing completely, this is something that is generational.
Something he missed, yeah.
It's generational. That's why a lot of us, 30 whatevers, and that feel so connected, so close to it. You can pick out the little nuances in the game. The game is filled with those subtle details that if you watched or read, you would be like, oh, I know what that is. I know where that's from. I know who that is. Like,
I
it's
absolutely
full
love
of
how
that.
they
It
lace
doesn't-
in like the main theme when you like collect something.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh,
Like,
the music!
yeah,
It has
just
the
really
John
slaps.
Williams like themes in it.
Beautiful.
It has a lot of. It hints at some of the Harry Potter themes, but it doesn't have exactly those songs. It has of course, Hogwarts theme
Of course.
is the same, but Hogwarts was always a character in the movies, in the book.
Oh yeah.
So they nailed that part of it. That Hogwarts isn't just a decorative place to be. It's alive. There's just so much going on, and it really feels. It feels
I just
so
want to read
authentic.
some of the comments we've gotten.
Oh,
here. Hells popped in first. What's up, Hells? He said easiest
Yeah, I
cook
don't
all
see
day.
any.
TGIF. He said books and beyond. From the dungeons in here. He said.
Hey! What's
but
up,
Star
dude?
Wars Fallen Order gonna be Game Man. So
Yeah, another
yeah,
delay.
I'm
Luckily, it
sure
got
that's
delayed.
gonna be
Honestly,
fantastic. Because
give me some time. Yeah, give me some time.
He says he totally agrees with me that the last two movies were boring. And he also said he just jumped in. But what house did you guys choose in the Harry Potter?
That's what I was just about to actually
Great
ask
question.
you guys.
Great
So
question.
Thank you for that.
what I want to actually ask is, what was your sorting experience like?
My sorting experience was like a natural one, but I also know how to game the system because I've played games my whole fucking life.
Well,
so
I'm asking
I know what
because-
answers to give to get where I want. Let's say.
Okay, well, so the reason
But
I'm
I let
asking,
them. I answered them naturally without trying to do it, and I landed where I figured I would.
I didn't get asked questions because I linked it to my Warner Brothers account. I guess that's why I'm asking what
right,
your
right,
experience
right,
was like.
sorry.
Because for me, he immediately he asked me one thing, like an adventure or no adventure or something, and I think I said I want to study. And then he was like, Slytherin. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, Slytherin. And that was it for me. So
yeah.
how did it work for you? How many questions did he ask before he started sorting
I'm
you?
gonna say it was 3
3 or 4?
questions.
Yeah, something like
Really?
no more than 4.
Before he
Yeah.
even named the house, he said 3 or 4 questions.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, see, I got one question.
So, this is funny. I have the Pottermore thing. And then I
It's
guess
not
it got
linked-
changed to the Harry Potter fan club.
Correct. Yeah.
So I had to get like a reset email thing.
I had to go
which
through
I
hell.
did.
I never
got
did
I
it.
went through all that shit.
I never
Because
did it.
That's why Gina
Pottermore-
fell asleep, because I took fucking like
Pottermore,
45
I
minutes.
actually
I said,
got
"Fuck
sorted
that."
into Gryffindor like back then. Like it put me in Gryffindor back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they
And
didn't.
I
make
tried
it.
to link it and it was failing and it was pissing me off. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm
You
just
couldn't
gonna
link
not
it.
link it."
Okay.
So when I went in, I answered the questions and it put me in Gryffindor again. So I'm like,
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Gryffindor.
So you're in
You're in
Gryffindor.
I was gonna be Gryffindor no matter what. Gryffindor.
Yeah, I
But,
mean that's you have to be Gryffindor.
naturally.
So you're Hufflepuff, right? Or Ravenclaw.
I'm
You're
Ravenclaw. Yeah, I'm the whatever. I was called an elitist today. I didn't know that's what they were viewed as, but the
Ravenclaw.
quote unquote intellectuals.
I feel like Ravenclaw never really got highlighted enough in the books.
In the books and the movies, similar to Hufflepuff, it's an auxiliary house, whereas the main story is, of course, Gryffindor versus Slytherin.
right.
So I think one of the cool things with the game was for Hufflepuff, we never saw their dorms. We never actually saw their dormitories or
rooms.
anything.
So we all get a different dorm experience because I got the
Yeah.
snake thing. What do you guys get? I forget. What,
Mine's
Gryffindor's
like
got the
Raven.
portrait lady, right?
Yes, the fat lady.
He's got
So
the
they got
fucking
the fat
lady.
lady?
I saw her. You can see her. In
That's
that.
awesome.
She won't let me in.
Oh,
She's
man.
like, "What's the password?" Then I keep annoying her at night, and I keep waking her up. So she's having these nice dreams, and then you wake her up. She's, it's pretty funny. It's
That's
very clever.
hilarious.
What is the Ravenclaw entrance?
Ravenclaw is pretty cool because it's the it's kind of like an astronomy deck.
Oh, is it
in a
like
way.
an astrolabe or something?
Kind of, yeah, and it's like a dome, but the entrance
There's like a plaque,
is like
right?
the entrance. Yeah, it's like a plaque, and then like a winged fucking raven opens up, and then it opens up into a staircase,
That's cool.
and then it's
All the shit's in the movies, right? Is it like
Not
taken
the
from
Ravenclaw.
not
movies?
so
stuff.
yeah.
Only
Ravenclaw,
Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff. You see Ravenclaw a bit because at the end when he goes to get the diadem, Harry goes to ask Ravenclaw about her fucking thing.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
So yeah, whatever. So I think there's like some little Hufflepuff's the one you truly never saw. So it was built from the ground up in this, and that one I heard is like
Really?
plants and roots that grow together because
Interesting.
they have like an organic house,
Huh.
So yeah, everybody
I didn't
gets
know
a
that's
house
Salute to
experience.
Professor Garlic.
Professor Garlic. Yo, the characters that they built are good too. You get a lot of the familiar. You get the Weasley. You hear the
Well, the
names.
Weasley lady reminds me of McGonagall.
Of course,
You
yeah.
know, she's not as stern, I guess, but
Yeah, there's always
the headmaster.
archetypes.
I don't know what the headmaster's deal is.
He's a dick.
He's a dick.
He's a
He
black.
is a dick, right?
Yeah, he's,
okay.
he's
I
a
was
black.
Getting
I
kind
guess
of.
he's related to Sirius somehow. I don't know if
He's
his
his great grandfather.
Yeah,
Some
great.
crap.
All right.
Is
Well,
that
I
fun?
like that because I've only just kind of seen a little bit of him, and I'm like, is this guy a dick? I don't know why I'm
I
getting
think you
dick
need to
vibes.
get it in gear because the game's deep.
You
It's
need
to, like,
very
get your
deep,
shit
and it's
together.
not like a
I know.
40 hour, 30
No, this is
hour.
like
I think this
100
is a
plus
fucking.
I'm just
60,
trying to at
80.
least get through like the broad beginning strokes with Gina
I
because I want her
found-
to see.
I found myself a little bit stuck. Right where I am. Like I said before, I was talking to you. I'm at a point where I feel like I'm right before. Let's say, Rob, I'm right before fighting in the Forbidden Forest for the first time. So there's some
Okay.
enemies at like level 20. I'm level fucking whatever 18. So
Well, certain
before I
parts
was.
have like level 20, but like if your mission is not calling for level 20, then just avoid the areas where there's level 20 characters.
I mean, it's leading me straight towards this shit. So these spiders that are there, like, there's no way around them.
Spiders.
So,
do you have your broom? You could just fly to
I
places.
don't have. So I didn't go through the broom thing. I was assuming I have to go to buy one. That's the way.
You have to take the class and learn how to fly, and then
So
you
when's
can
the
buy
class? That's what I feel like. All right, so I might be missing something.
You have
then.
to follow the main story quests, and then that
What am I
unlocks
not doing?
classes.
What the fuck is the main story quest that I'm not doing then?
The gold ones.
Yeah, the gold one is the one that's fucking in the Forbidden Forest. What do you mean?
What are your side missions?
Fucking, the keys, all this other shit.
There should be other shit. Like you might have
So-
to like.
I'm assuming
more-
anyway. I got to
more-
do this fucking
yeah.
gold mission, and it requires you to basically be level 20. So I'm doing a ton of shit at the castle. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you got to.
Side questing and stuff.
You gotta spend a
gotta
lot of
find
time
the
there
people that need
first.
help and do
Yes.
those missions. And
That's all
what
I've been
really
doing.
Gives you the leaps.
Yep, that's all I've been doing.
Leaps and bounds. Go to Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade people need help.
That's where I need to go next. I haven't really gone into
And then if you go
Hogsmeade a
to
lot.
south of the castle, there's the.
I did help that guy
South
with his
Hogs,
carts.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Let me ask
another-
this now: is there like a Draco Malfoy type nemesis character?
No one has
No.
stood out yet.
If anything, the Slytherin of the story is actually your friend.
Right. Well, that's what that's like my one gripe about the game so far is I hate the way that my character looks. I didn't realize once I saw him
Restarted.
animated.
You're so early.
Nah, I still want to keep it, but the guy looks exactly
You
like.
can get masks eventually that are cosmetic items.
You
that
can put your
just cover
hoods
your
up.
face.
That
I'm
I
just
didn't know.
saying he looks like a twin brother to the fucking Slytherin guy.
That's your
weird.
fault.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know that was gonna end up looking like this guy, but
It's got to pick the Chris Sweet looking guy.
Should have.
There's
yeah,
already a
that guy
Chris
looks
Sweet in the game. There's a guy that plays the fiddle. There's a painting. Have you seen the portrait that plays the?
no.
Oh, the
Chris
musical
has his
hallway?
own fucking portrait in this game. Jesus, it's a bard.
Check that out.
Yeah, he's hanging out. It's on one of the
Makes
main
sense.
staircases. But
It's
yeah,
funny the
I-
paintings that they
been-
have, and you could just sit there and watch them, and eventually.
Did you see
they-
the
they move.
gargoyle that starts insulting you? It's great.
There is a
Oh,
gargoyle
really?
that won't shut the hell up, but he hasn't.
He hangs on
insulted
the
me
wall,
yet.
right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's a locked office next to him. There's one of those moon
Yep.
statues inside that office.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I definitely haven't peeled back even like I would say the first 20-25% of it, you know. I don't have the broom. I feel like the broom, that's a
Game
whole
changer.
other that like talk about opening up the game. That's crazy.
Like I'm
when I
bursting
first
at
saw
the
the world
seams with all
map,
the
I was
shit
like,
that I know,
holy
but
shit.
I can't talk about any of it because I don't want to spoil the game for you guys.
Yeah,
But
no, I know.
there's
Thank
so
you.
much like awesome shit that you guys haven't even like. You guys think the game is awesome now.
That's what I mean. That's what
Wait till
that's
you
so,
get to where I am, and
that's
you
what I
see
meant
how
by the
fucking
Elden Ring
awesome it
comparison
gets.
too. But
So I
This
think
is
the
whiny.
general I just really have to piss, but the general consensus is that we all love this game, right?
I
So
mean,
far.
it's easily it's an easy 9.
Yeah, I would give that.
I could knock it for any knock against it right now is purely technical.
And not for nothing, for the vastness of the map, when you flew powder somewhere, you get there pretty quick. I
Bro,
have never been
I
on a loading
love-
screen longer than
Yes.
5 seconds.
That's the power of the next gen, I think,
Yeah.
because you can't. I'm sure that's not that
And
way on
that's a
PS4.
huge game to
I
pull
did
that off
say-
on.
This is a game, and this is the only technology we've ever had where like apparating. You know how the instant transmission they have in the movies. I was like, I feel like that'd be possible in this game if they allowed you to unlock that power later. To apparate to any location at any time would be so fucking cool. Because that's how fast you move across the map. And there's really no loading times between doors. There's a subtle one. If you really look close,
It'll like
it'll
like a
little-
second?
Yeah, it'll be like,
then
oh,
you're
push
through.
here, and then it'll go.
and it's not like anything's lag.
Nope.
I've maybe seen 2 students lag, and it was after a cutscene, so it made a little sense.
Yeah, it sure ain't Pokemon
Like a girl got
Violet,
stuck
that's
on
for
like
sure.
the staircase, and then like the Weasley kid got stuck on something once. But
Sorry, I have to take a piss. I'm trying to show Vin how to switch the scenes here.
oh,
Oh yeah,
Rob,
got it.
us.
Yeah, I know how it works.
Rob, us. All right,
there we go.
there you go.
But I gotta say,
Him,
like I said,
Me.
27 hours
Him.
into the game,
me.
I'm enjoying the hell out
Him.
of it,
This has the picture.
and
Oh.
I can't wait to see what
Us.
happens next. I think that the story is riveting, so
Us.
it's not just like graphically
Us.
cool. Jeez,
Sorry, you
Give
gave
the
me the
people
remote.
epilepsy.
Terrible idea to give me the remote.
Jesus.
Sorry out there, everybody, if I'm fucking you up out there.
Unless we're tying it up.
I mean, we really don't have
Everybody's
anything.
trying to rush to get out of here. I know
Chris
that's
is trying to rush.
So that's
Someone
all right.
wants to
That's
play it.
another interesting part about the game. It's very rare that this happens, where it's like you get that itch where you're like, all right, the game's so cool. I just want to run home from work and play it. I just want to grab some fucking fast food, pizza, whatever, or have Uber Eats and just play. And I like to ride that wave. It only
yeah.
lasts for a little while.
I love
couple weeks.
sinking my teeth into games
You're
because, like,
deep, yeah.
when
You're gonna
I
go
when
deep.
I
This
get a
is a
single
platinum for some
player
people.
game, like you've seen what I do. I fucking platinum God of War in a week. Like I'm doing the same thing with fucking Harry Potter. I'm sinking my teeth just as hard into this game.
My
And I'm just
concern.
enjoying the shit out of it. I'm almost like afraid to burn myself out because when I finish it, I'm gonna feel like that sense of loss, like I always do.
Oh,
Now,
that's inevitable. It's
to-
like when you finish a
From
show,
the
a
Dungeon
game.
Podcast point, we do have Jedi Survivor.
Oh, that's
coming
right. Yeah,
in
he brought that
April.
up. I can't wait for that. I love the. It's funny because I was cautiously optimistic about that game. Fallen Order. Fallen Order, because it's an EA game, and EA just their track
Drops the
record
ball constantly.
fucking sucks. I
The
swear.
one thing I will say was the travel was frustrating in that game.
Initially, because you really lack abilities, I was kind of frustrated with the combat. It was like kind of one-dimensional. It just didn't have a nice flow. I was so, I don't want to say used to, but my expectations really go to
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, because it was such a fluid combat. It was so much fun. So I like that, and I wish, there was a version of that similar to the Spider-Man combat system. When
That
it
had to
comes
be
Star
some
Wars.
of the
But
most fun I ever had in a Star Wars game too, because I had it for the Wii, and I used the Wiimotes as the lightsaber and the Force, and like that really when you want to feel like you're fucking wielding a lightsaber and shit, like
Actually-
that technology actually felt really good for once, and like
funny enough, he's coming back, folks. We're gonna put Rob back up there. So funny enough, the combat in Harry Potter, damn it, can't not call it Harry Potter.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy, I would say feels like a little like Force Unleashed because you have the Leviosa and the ability to pull and almost use the Force with them. So I was thinking about the Force Unleashed a lot when I was playing this, but Fallen Order was so much fun as you unlocked some layers to that. It had that labyrinth map design that I'm not a fan of because it's very limiting. It's not quite open, but it was cool enough. And the story was excellent. I thought that was one of the best, Star Wars stories. And they usually do a good job in the video games. But it tied in very well to what they seem to be setting up elsewhere. So I do expect some tie-in with what we're about to see this year from, Star Wars with Ahsoka and Mando. I think we're going to see
Mando.
So it's all
Can't
coming
wait
at
for Mando.
once. We're going to hit Star Wars season really good. I know the show, we're going to kick into Star Wars gear.
This is the year of Pedro Pascal, man.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, tonight, the fucking episode of The Last of Us came
That's
out.
right, because
Forgot
really?
about that.
Really?
It's tonight, yep, because
Super
they didn't want to
Bowl
compete with the
Sunday.
Super Bowl.
Wow.
So smart move. I'm going to watch that probably tomorrow because I'm going to run the fuck out of here to go play Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes.
Sorry. Love you guys.
The Super Bowl, you doing anything?
I'm going to Connecticut. Yeah.
Nice.
Going to Sam's.
This is
Pops.
a ridiculous question, but who's in the Super Bowl this year?
Kansas City and the
Right.
Eagles.
Totally
right?
out of the.
Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Huh.
Eagles are got all the money. 75% of the money is on the Eagles to win. It's tough to bet against Pat Mahomes, but the
crazy.
Eagles look great. So, I mean, a lot of New Yorkers don't want the Eagles to fucking win because they're the Eagles. I can
I
understand
just can't
that.
believe if
What
they
the
get
hell
two
did the
W's
fucking
in
statue,
with the past
the-
decade.
If the Eagles get
Empire
the
State
second Super
Building
Bowl
thinking.
win in 10 years, that would be huge. That's their first. That would be.
That was always the joke,
two-
is that they didn't get any. Now.
They had 0. Now they're fighting for 2. And Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. A lot of future ahead of them. Like, they're going to be competitive for a long
You
time.
heard about the Empire State Building?
Yeah, they lit it up in the Philadelphia Eagles.
The fuck?
Well, the fucking Empire State Building is a national symbol. That's the problem. It's a symbol of America
Bullshit.
and New York. So I get it. I'm not a Giants fan, so I'm not personally offended. I just laughed because I knew, fucking New York fans are going to hate this. Like, I would hate it if I was a huge fucking Giant fan or Jet fan even. What the fuck is this shit? Fuck
Pretend
the
it's
Eagles.
green for the
Eagles
Jets.
fucking hate the Giants would never light any of their buildings up with the Liberty Bell. None of that shit's
No.
getting lit up in blue, white, and red. So, well, maybe
pissed
because of the
on if it
American
does.
flag. Yeah, So I can understand the hate there, but it's fucking Empire State Building. It's like a global symbol. But somebody said they think that the guy that runs the building is a Philly fan. That's why.
No, makes sense.
Yeah.
We have that in the pipeline. We have WrestleMania's coming up.
WrestleMania, Star Wars. I think it's going to be a lot of. We're going to
We
do
got a lot of shit coming up.
There's some good shit.
Fucking
Joe will
A.
be here eventually when he feels like it.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking
Hey,
just
what's
like
up,
Bret
Joe?
Hart would show up. fucking
Wow.
right before.
Joe's the Bret Hart of the Break
Joe,
Room
he
podcast.
is the Bret Hart
That
of the
makes
Break Room
sense.
podcast. He'd show up right before he has
I'm
to
bored.
go on.
The break room screw job.
The screw
Yeah.
job. Vince screwed Bret.
Joe
Listen,
screwed Joe.
hey, listen.
Yeah.
Don't bring my name into it. Don't drag my name into this.
We'll have him back though. We miss our buddy, and definitely excited for some Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Okay.
This is it's a rare occurrence that even God of War didn't do this, and I feel bad because I really loved that game. Great game, but it was such a continuation of the first. It wasn't a new experience. It was just like, oh, cool. This is very familiar. I like this.
This is a new
This is
experience.
new.
It's a new
This-
IP that we get to enjoy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
new.
familiar and you know the world, but everything about
Yeah.
it is brand new.
It's
You're
not a
just
new
like,
IP, but it's a new.
the story
to
is
It's a new
Experience.
mechanic,
very
a new
new to itself.
studio. It's this
That's the other
Double
thing too. Their
port
first
key
game.
studio.
It's a good job for the first game. I'd be even. I only say I wish it had a multiplayer element.
Yep.
That would be fun, similar to Elden Ring.
That would
Something
be
like a
wild.
dungeon where we go fight trolls or some crazy
I
fucking
think this
wizards.
was their test to see if it was possible. Once
Exactly.
they-
I think
Yeah.
we'll get it.
We'll
They'll
probably
get Quidditch
it.
I
too.
think
You
we'll
gotta
get
have
Qui-
stuff in
oh,
the sequel. You
They
gotta have
made
stuff in the
Quidditch
sequel.
part of the story, so you know it's there. They know it's there. They didn't just
Right.
ignore it. addressed it directly.
To
and
build
I think
an
the
engine
company,
for
yeah,
that
exactly.
is like building
Thank
an
you.
entirely different
It's
fucking
not
game.
easy to fucking just build a game within a game.
That's
you
a
have
whole
to make a
game
whole
within a game with
and
its
then
own
if it
physics
sucked,
engine.
if they just threw together some bullshit, everyone would be bitching that it sucked.
What's the
Better
point of
to
playing it
avoid
against
it.
computers if you can't play
And
it
why
against
put,
other
why
players?
put a
Ooh,
sport
that would be
in a
awesome.
game that you're only going to be playing against robots?
Computer. Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
once they have a multiplayer aspect, that's
The
when
killer
I
too. It should have been next gen only. I get it. Where
Maybe the next one will be.
Oh, PS4 should have been next gen only. I get it. The sales. They gotta, you gotta make sure they sell 40, 50 million or whatever the fuck. If it was next gen only, I think you don't have to dedicate any resources to making it cross gen, because that costs a lot. If you read about developers' conversations with, about what's taking so long to make these games, they do say making them cross gen very difficult. It adds a lot. It takes a lot.
So they got to continuously put updates for all those different systems too.
You got to stress a system that you built to work with high-end quality shit and reverse it down and chop away and optimize and make it work better. So you're really pushing something that can't quite do it to do it.
I've been playing it on fidelity with ray tracing, and
you have an
been running
OLED. So
nice.
if you don't have an OLED 120 or whatever, you can't play in that mode. I can't play in the cross mode. I can only choose performance or fidelity.
Oh,
But
I got to pull it up for you and see if there's a difference.
Oh, there is. And on the OLED, it's fucking gorgeous.
Oh.
It's fucked up.
Oh,
I really want an OLED.
gorgeous,
This is the year I get an OLED TV.
Get the C2.
I know. They're fucking, give me $1,400. Hey, guys, we're doing a GoFundMe page so I can buy a TV, I guess. What?
I think it was like 1,100. It was
Yeah,
actually
well,
pretty
okay.
Only
you know,
1,100?
listen, you know what I'm saying?
$300
I'm over here.
Come on now.
I got a big investment in this whole, fucking garden. It's got tomatoes. Got the seeds from Italy.
Bada bing,
Tomato.
It's costing some money. So, but yeah, I'll be there. I'm doing the OLED this year. I'd love to do it for the Super Bowl, but I can't. But Sam said's got the OLED. We're good. Oh, I can't wait. I love fucking wish the Packers were playing. They're not.
Well, that's one other thing we didn't get to
What
mention.
time's the game start? 8?
Oh, the Brett Favre fucking
Brett
suing
Favre
Pat.
is suing Pat
It's
McAfee.
all about. That's like my story. It's like a story that was manufactured for me personally.
Two
I'm a
of Vin's
diehard
heroes.
Green Bay fucking Packers fan, so love Brett Favre growing up. Obviously, recent news was he's a dick, stealing money from Mississippi.
Allegedly
stealing money.
Don't get us sued.
I wish. So yeah, he's suing Pat McAfee, who I fucking love, sports commentator, a YouTube show, probably the best show on the internet. Half the inspiration for what I want to do here. Brett Favre suing Pat, yeah, for defamation.
Stupid.
And then Aaron Rodgers is on Pat's show like every week, who succeeded Brett Favre in Green Bay.
Right.
Aaron knows Brett. They're not like friendly really, off the field and shit. So it's not like that. But now it's fucking funny because I'm sure Pat would love to ask Aaron, like, why is Brett Favre suing me? And Aaron's just going to laugh. He can't answer. He can't say shit to it. But Pat's not getting a lawyer. He already said, it's like, I'm not doing shit. This is a joke.
Because he could. He
It's
should
a joke.
Still,
He's
it
not
is a joke.
countersuing. He doesn't want no part in this. This is Brett trying to save face because he feels like his name was dragged through the mud for being
Did
associated.
that on his own.
Oh, dirtbag political fucking assholes in Mississippi,
Allegedly.
whether you did it. I don't think he's smart enough to do anything like that complicated, but he's shaking hands with the people that are, and that's enough. Like, you're benefiting from that. Whatever dirty shit they're doing, they're helping you out. And you're just guilty by association. And I know when I was a kid, my mother said, you don't hang out with the bad kids because you get in just as much trouble as they do if you didn't even do it. So, come on, this is a good old Mississippi boy. Don't be fucking cool with these shiesty-ass politicians. So, yeah, I love Pat, though. Fuck that. That's annoying. Love Brett, but he's fucking up his legacy. That sucks. It's another one of these things we kind of keep talking about, how much leeway do you give your heroes or whatever, your icons? But there are no heroes. That's the truth. Humans are humans, and we'll all kind of fuck up one way or another.
Who's also caught up in that whole, for the people that don't have the context, Brett Favre allegedly. I don't totally understand it, but I think like welfare funds were pretty much diverted to build a volleyball stadium
for
at the
college.
university that his daughter was going to.
Correct.
And it was like a $5 million stadium,
Yeah.
and $1 million of it came from like welfare funds, allegedly.
In Mississippi, the
He's
poorest
somehow
state in the
wrapped up
country.
in this, but so also was Ted DiBiase.
No shit,
Or
really?
DiBiase's
somebody-
son specifically.
Or Ted
Oh,
DiBiase,
wow.
somebody in his family. I don't know if it was actually Ted DiBiase himself, or even his son, or if it was his brother.
I think
or
it was
something
his
like
son, because I think his son's in trouble.
That. Yeah.
Damn.
So.
Yeah, there's some shiesty ass politician. You know, they,
Everybody's got
No
a price. You know?
and everybody does
Yeah.
have a price. Listen. I've always admitted I don't know what I'm gonna do in that situation. If you told me, hey, we got $500,000 to help your daughter's fucking volleyball team. I don't know if I'd be like, where did the $500,000 come from? I
Right,
don't know
yeah.
how I would act. So I don't want to act holier than fucking now. Again, humans are humans. Unfortunately, people are getting hurt. Welfare down in Mississippi is the poorest state in the country. Obviously, everybody who needs welfare should be getting it. And, you just don't want to be caught up. Your name's going to get dragged through it. I think when all is said and done, people will forgive him, let's say, when he's maybe he makes it till his 80s.
You got to be repentant.
When he's dead and can't
But
make
that's
any
the
more
thing. It
mistakes,
does
that's
seem
when
he's a
I'll
little
forgive him.
unrepentant. He's
Well, he
suing
gave money back,
people.
apparently.
I know Brett doesn't want to be like Brett. I don't know. He never struck me as a true piece of shit.
Right.
He was a tough guy. He was a fucking alpha, whatever. But I'm hoping, you can make amends somehow through this. But you usually got to come out and be like, listen, I was wrong. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Here's the money back. Whatever you got to do.
Well,
You really gotta come out and do
he's
that.
Doing the opposite, and that's why he's suing Pat, I guess.
Yeah,
is to save
that-
face.
Yeah,
But then
that's
that's the thing is apparently, and the Pat even said this, but he gave money back. So it's like, why would you give money back if you
didn't do
were
it.
innocent?
And I'm sure there's
I don't
people
know.
like lawyers
I don't
pissing
know
in his
enough
ear.
about the situation.
Oh, you should sue these people because we can get money, and you know how lawyers are. It's all this fucking bullshit game. But yeah, that is
Interesting
like ultimate
nonetheless.
crossover for
Definitely,
me. That's
Put that in the group chat. I was
Did you? I didn't see that.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Put that in the group chat the second it like popped up. Pretty much, I was like, what?
I was watching it live. I saw when Pat said, I saw it the night before, and then I saw Pat today talking. Hey, Brett Favre suing me.
Yeah,
Yep.
Green Bay fans are few and
I
far
think it just
between,
bigs
but
up the
it's-
Pat McAfee show. Honestly, for those
Yeah,
who
I mean,
didn't know
Pat's
Pat,
Pat's response to it was great.
yeah,
He's like,
'cause
I
he's
never
just honest.
expected when we started in a basement that we would ever get sued, but that's just a sign of success.
Yeah.
So hopefully we
Allegedly.
get sued by Brett
Yeah, a
Favre
lot
one
of
day.
them.
That'll be an indication. We won't get sued by
So
Brett
the
Favre, but
other
we'll get sued
really-
by Bret Hart.
The funny part about that too, real quick, is somebody on the Pat McAfee show, Ty Schmidt, is equally or more a bigger Green Bay fan than I am. So it's really ironic because he sits on the show kind of like, me or Chris, to the side of Pat, and he loves the Packers. He loved Brett Favre. So now I would actually kind of feel a sense of pride about it because it'd be like, now
You
I'm
got
on
his
the
attention.
lawsuit. Yeah,
You
now
got
Brett
his
Favre knows
attention.
who I am, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Good
better
or
or
bad,
worse.
motherfucker. And Ty never talked bad about him, but everything was always talked about in a allegedly kind of way. Listen, hey, you allegedly took some money you shouldn't have.
Yeah. Even then, I mean, if it's like somebody's accused of
Power
it, do you really
hasn't.
need to?
I feel like Brett didn't profit also. It's not like it went into his pockets. It's just, again, the circumstances.
He
It's not
benefited
good,
from
and
it.
yeah.
it's
Keep
a
on,
bigger
though.
thing. There's a much larger thing going on beyond just this, but Brett's name is fucking huge. So that's really what comes to the surface. But it's a very large fraud, statewide kind of fraud against the welfare system. It's a big
It's
deal.
a big case.
It's a
with
big
lot
it's a
of
federal
parties
deal.
involved.
100%. There's some Ted DiBiase. There's some names involved. Mississippi's not exactly known for being above board,
Mississippi.
non-swampy.
Mississippi.
But yeah. So that's funny. Funny you brought that up.
Well, I want to put somebody in a Cruciatus, so Rob,
Yeah, I know. I can't wait till
take
I'm
us
off the
home,
free.
buddy.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to our Harry Potter game.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
Let
coming.
us know what you think about it if you're playing it.
Yeah.
You don't see the
yeah,
comments
please.
on the TV, but Rob sees them somewhere.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Hell.
Thanks for the two
tuning in
people that
from the
just
Dungeon
tuned in right
Podcast.
before we're ending.
Thank you for tuning in. We love you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for all the comments too. There's been a lot of cool recent
Freaking
comments.
From the dungeon, he's back.
From the Dungeon is back.
We've been invoking from the dungeon for a couple of weeks.
But
Name
guys,
dropping.
Love you guys.
this has been the Break Room Podcast. Snoochie Boochies, may the force be with you.